Hey guys and girls, so need to sort out a little problem today. So I'm printing the T-Rex skeleton and I've hit a little bit of a snag. So I'm printing this at 200% of its original size, and I thought I'd scaled everything to the right size and I haven't. So this is thing number 275091. It's by MakerBot, and the central beam just doesn't fit. So if we have a look at the instructions, we can see here that the central beam, when scaled to 200%, will not fit on my build plate. Everything else does, but not that. So I need to sort it out so as I can print it. It's got to be quite strong to support skeleton, so let's see what we can do. So if we have a look at Cura, we can see that it won't fit when scaled. So that's it at 100%. Scaling it up to 200% gives us a problem horizontally where it doesn't fit on the bed. So we could try rotating it, but again, it's going to be just too high, as you can see. So the idea is to bring it into Meshmixer and do a plane cut on it. Now I could just do a plane cut where I cut it across the middle, print in two parts, but I want to add some pegs and some holes. So I want to add a peg in the middle so that when I glue it together, it's going to have that extra sort of durability. So it's going to just stick together a bit better and be a little bit stronger. Because at the end of the day, if we look back, we can see that it has got to support the entire T-Rex skeleton. And I just think gluing two flat sections together, one, it's not going to glue very well, and two, it's probably just not going to support the model. Okay, so we're in Meshmixer and we're going to bring our STL in. We can either click import and select the file, or we can just drag and drop it in. That's loaded the beam, and what we want to do is, the first thing we want to do is cut the beam in half. So I'm going to use a plane cut. So I'm going to go to edit, plane cut, and then draw a line down the center. So just click and draw, and make sure the red line is straight, and then just release, and that creates the cut. We want to keep both parts. So on the plane cut options, we want to select the cut type and change it to slice keep both, and click accept. And then we want to see both objects, so we're going to go to separate shells, and that brings up the object browser. So we have two beams. We have the right beam and the left beam. We're going to start with the left beam, and we're going to hide the right beam by clicking the eye icon. And then we can rotate and zoom into the end of the beam. So to do that, I'm just literally right clicking anywhere, and you can pivot and move the model about. Use the scroll wheel to zoom if you've got a scroll wheel on your mouse. So we're going to come across, and I'm going to click Mesh Mix, and I'm going to pick the cylinder object and drag it onto this plane here, and that's going to create the peg. Now that's obviously too big, but it has attached. So you can see this shape here, it's like a little pointy triangle. I'm going to click in there and just drag it down, and that will reduce the size. And then the sphere and the white sphere in the middle, you can use that just to straighten it up slightly. Don't worry about it being perfectly straight. It doesn't need to be perfectly straight at this moment in time. You can see that's quite diagonal. So we can just straighten that up. That's fine. And again, don't worry that it's like through the model here. We're going to fix that. So we're going to click accept, make sure it's on create new object, and you can see in the object browser that we've now got the two beams plus the peg. We're going to select the peg, go to edit and transform, and this will allow us to move this object. So we're going to move it down into the middle and just get it more centralized, which is fine. And if you turn it to the side, you can see this allows us to move it up, down, at a diagonal. Perfect. Okay, so now we've got that. We want to duplicate this a couple of times. So click accept on your options, and then come across, make sure your peg's selected, and just duplicate twice. So we now have 3 pegs. We're going to select the original peg, hide the other 2. So we've again still got the left beam and the peg. We're going to click on the beam and then shift click onto the peg, and that brings up some new options, and we want Boolean difference. So we're going to click Boolean difference, and you can see that sunk our peg into the model. untick auto reduce result, tick use intersection curves, and then you want to drop the target edge scale down to about 0.3, 0.4, just to reinforce the mesh. So we'll do that now. Sometimes it can bug out at this stage, but that seemed to do that quite well. Okay, so now what we can do is we can accept those changes. And then what we're going to do is you'll see that we've actually lost that peg. The peg that's been sunk in, we've lost off our object browser, which is fine. So we're going to select the other beam. So we hide the left beam and we show the right beam, and you can see that this obviously hasn't been done. But if we hide one of the other pegs, there we go, we can see that it's in the right place and ready to go. So we click on here, click on the beam, hold shift, click on the peg, go to Boolean difference, and that will cut it out. And then we can just untick again the auto reduce result. We can tick use intersection curves, and then we can drop the target edge scale down, and that's fine, and we'll accept. Okay, so now you can see we've got three objects. We've got the left beam, the right beam, and the middle peg. So if I hide that, click on the middle peg, you can see there's the middle peg. There's the left beam, and there's the right beam. So now all we do is we export each of these as STL files. So we'll start with the right beam, and we just go File, Export, and we'll just give it a name of right beam, and we'll call it T-Rex right beam. T-Rex right beam, and save. We'll click on the left beam and show that, and then go File, Export again, give it a file name, T-Rex left beam, and we'll save that. And then we'll hide that, and we'll show the peg, and we'll go File, Export again, and give that the final name of T-Rex peg, and save that. So we're now ready to bring this into Cura and get it ready for printing. Okay, so we're going to drag the STLs into Cura. Okay, and we can see there they are. So let's take a closer look. It seems to have sliced reasonably well and quite uniformly. So let's scale them. So I'm going to scale the two beams. I'm going to scale to 200%, and the little peg I'm going to scale to 195. The reason I'm going to scale it to 195 is because I want it to make sure that it fits. So that's fine. Just move that out of the way. I'm going to print it flat in this position. Just going to rotate that slightly so it's touching the build plate, and the flat surface is touching the build plate, and we'll just move that out the way a bit. Okay, let's take a look at that. That seems fine. The infill density I'm going to do at 70% because I want it quite strong, and I'm going to use a raft to print on. So let's see how long that's going to take. So about 2 hours, 10 minutes. So probably about 2 hours 45, 3 hours. So let's save that and print it. Okay, so it came out really well. Really happy with this. Pegs printed quite nicely. Quite a nice all-round finish. Obviously I printed the peg slightly smaller, so shouldn't have an issue fitting it in. And it just slots together. There we go. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we're going to glue it together. I've got some just standard super glue, and we're going to see if we can get this to stick. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put some glue around the ends of both beams, apply the peg, and just I'll tap it in slightly just to make sure it stays. And again, obviously the other side. And that's that really. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue just in the seam. Just let it soak through all the way around, and then I'll put it up somewhere to set.